I'm Tommy Burton. You may know me from the vinyl community. You may know me from other things like Daily Records. Either way, I've been making videos now for about 2 years here on the old YouTube. But I wanted to talk to you guys about some big changes that are coming my way and as a result are coming your way. And so I wanted to talk about that with you guys and maybe get a little input, maybe some ideas of some things that you guys may think about some of this stuff, and just a general discussion. So there's a little comment box down below, and I really would love to hear your thoughts. And so here's what's going on. After some contemplation and several thoughts and ideas being kicked around, it has been decided that my wife and I are going to move. Now, what does that mean? Well, first off, that means all of this is about to be packed up, and it's going to be packed up and put into storage. Now, the reason being is that we are really looking. We moved to North Carolina about 3.5 years ago, really not sure of where life was going to take us. And it led us here, and we're very thankful for that. And I started making videos a couple of years ago, coming up almost on the 2-year mark. And I've had a lot of fun doing it, and a blast, and interacting with you guys, and meeting some of you, and just it's meant a lot to me, because it's great to be a part of a music community, vinyl community, and I appreciate everyone that's taken time to reach out, to comment, and everyone that's subscribed. You know the drill. I can't thank you guys enough, and what it means to me. I don't get to watch as many videos as I would like. My time is become more and more limited on video watching, but I do enjoy the videos, and I do try to check out as many of you as you can. But that being said, this is about to end in terms of this music room, this location, everything that's happening here. Now, does that mean I'm going to stop buying records? No, probably not. Am I going to buy as many records as I do probably now? Maybe not either. But record store day, special things, you're not going to keep me out of a record store just because I'm not going to have a place to come to. Now, how long this is going to last, I don't know. It may last a month. It may last 3 months. It might last a year. I don't know. There may be some reflection here, and some time to think about things. And all of those things are all kind of part of the big philosophical discussion when you start talking about collecting records and everything. I've thought about it quite a bit, and probably more recently than I should. But what's going to happen to all this stuff if something were unfortunately to happen to me? My wife doesn't want to deal with it, and so I don't have any family that would really appreciate it. So the only one that gets anything out of this really is me. There's been videos, there's been discussions about it, and so you start looking at things that you want to get out of life and how they are. But I mean, at the end of the day, I love music. I love collecting music. I love collecting vinyl. I don't think that passion is ever going to end or go away. And especially since this stuff's going to be packed up, and, I'm not going to have the access to it that I have right now. Now, having said all that, and I don't want to give too much in the way of plans or anything like that. And I'm not going to say that I'm ending this channel. I'm going to post this video also on my Daily Records channel, because for some reason, there may be some of you that watch that channel that don't watch this channel. And especially since I've ended the other channel, I don't know. But I want to make sure that the word gets out amongst as many of you as possible that you guys can hear what I'm thinking here. But I'm really thinking about taking this channel and my video content even up another level. Now, if you go back and you've been watching my channel for a while, some videos that I've done have been these sort of travel videos where I've gone places with some of you. Some of you have seen me, and I like doing those videos. I recently did one just a few weeks ago on my trip to Mississippi in the Little Big Store, and I kind of did that as a taste of what we might be seeing on this channel in the future. Now, I'm in North Carolina, and part of being in North Carolina is access to things like the Blue Ridge Music Trails. Things like the Blue Ridge Music Trails, which I got this book for Christmas, which is a guide to like various music sites around the state of North Carolina, which is where I reside. I've done, in the past, I've done something similar to this, blues traveling when I was in Mississippi. Kind of went around to see some of the sites of the Mississippi blues and the legendary music. I would like to do a little more of that. I love to travel and I like to see things. And so I guess the question is, would you guys be interested in that kind of content? I like showing records. I like showing record stores. And I think the record store aspect of it would be something I would continue. Similar to that Little Big Store video. And if you haven't watched that video, go back and check that out. Now, I've done some others like that where I've gone to record stores, and sometimes I film inside and sometimes I don't. Sometimes I feel a little weird about that. But I know some of you guys enjoy seeing that kind of content. I enjoy seeing that kind of content. So maybe, you know, by me going to these places and going inside and maybe showing a little bit about what the stores look like, would that be something you guys would want to continue to see? Would it be something that would be worthwhile? Kind of a travel channel, as it were, for music and for record collecting. Now, what I would do is go to maybe some historic sites, musicians' graves, maybe some museums and things. Now, not all museums let you film and everything, but just the idea is just different sort of historic music sites and talk about it and make this more of, instead of just records, which I think records are still going to be a large part of the channel and it's going to play a large role in what I do. But so many of you guys, and I can't even begin to name you, but so many of you guys do this so much better than I do. I love talking about records. I know a lot about records. I know a lot about musicians and music, but I feel like, you know, I don't feel like I add anything to the conversation sometimes, because I see some of your videos and I'm just blown away by just how articulate you guys are and how well you are able to add to a conversation or bring up an idea. And there's several of you that do it. Now, I'm not even going to begin to try to list you because inevitably I'm going to leave someone off or something of that nature. So I just want to just say that I don't know, I really don't feel that I add that sort of content to the VC or the music community or whatever you want to call it. But I do feel like I can offer something. And so I feel like, you know, by adding that aspect of record store tours, music site tours, in addition to, now I want to say, in addition to vinyl, you know, for the last couple of years, I've always talked about the record store day list. I think I've done a record store day video every year, the record store day and Black Friday, and those are always fun, and I enjoy it. And I enjoy sharing with you guys what I do and how that comes about. But I really am wondering, you know, if I kind of up the content a little more and make it a little, just give it a twist of maybe something a little different, something a little more unique. Would you guys still continue to watch? Would you still support the channel? Do you think it would grow the channel? You know, that first year I did 365 subscribers. I think that was the mark. I wanted to get a subscriber a day. And I don't think that I've done that in the second year. I think things have kind of tapered off. And I don't know. I've talked with some of you guys about content. I don't know if it's content or lack of content, a lack of consistency, which that may be another thing. You know, consistency was a big deal with Daily Records. One record every day for a full year. That was a big accomplishment, and you really don't get much more consistent than that. However, I know I've got way more subscribers here on my main channel than I do or did on the Daily Records channel. So I don't know what the key is. And let me back all of that up by saying it's not really about numbers for me. It's not. I don't really get caught up in like how many views a video gets or anything. I just do what I do, and I talk about what I talk about, and I put it out there, and that's it. And so if I want to talk about something like Michael Nesmith or Lee Hazelwood, some things that I'm quite passionate about, then I'll do a video on it. It's easy to do new pickups. And so, going back to that thing, I don't know that I can add a lot to the conversation. I think there's a couple of niches in there that I've been able to kind of go in at, like the Lee Hazelwood thing, the Nesmith stuff. I've been able to add to the conversation a little bit, but as far as like the Beatles are concerned, I'm just using the Beatles as an example. I love the Beatles. I know a lot about the Beatles. I can converse with just about any diehard Beatles fan about Beatles music and Beatles albums, and hold my own. I just don't know that I can make some videos that are going to really add to that or add to that conversation. And I'm not just a Beatles collector, so it's hard for me to just say, well, okay, here's another copy of Abbey Road. Like I said, there's guys out there that do it much better than I do, and they've got something to say and they add to it, and that's really, really great. And I enjoy those videos and I watch those videos, and so they're great. But I'm just thinking, just in my own terms, like, finding my voice, doing what I do, where does it fit in? How does it all add up? And so it's sort of, I know this is kind of an all encompassing sort of question to throw out there or something to talk about. But, I guess at the end of the day, I just want to say this may be going somewhere for an indefinite amount of time. I'm not going anywhere. I would like to continue to still do content and be a part of this community, however you view it, vinyl, whatever. I actually, and I don't really talk about it a whole lot, but I have a really, 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 really large CD collection. And I've not even unboxed that stuff. I boxed it up a few years ago, and I still do buy CDs, but I just don't really show CDs. I just kind of have made this vinyl related. And when I'm here, that's usually what I'm listening to, but there's a lot of CDs. And so what I'm thinking is, long term, wherever I end up, that stuff is going to all come out and it'll all be there. But in the meantime, and so this may be something that becomes long term, in terms of the traveling and things like that. There's so many places I'd love to see, and I always like to go to music sites and historic sites and things where music happened and where these sort of things happen. I have a deep interest in that, in the history of music and musical events. And so there's plenty of digging and seeing to do. And would you guys support that? Is the question. Would you like to see more of that? Would you be like, yeah, no, that's a whole different bag, and other people do it well, and we don't need to hear your mouth talking about it, so whatever. And I mean, this isn't a beat up on me kind of thing. It's just a spitball sort of idea session. And so in the next week or two, I'm going to be in the process of packing everything in here, and it's all going to go into storage for an indefinite amount of time. I don't know how long. And so me just putting up videos every so often where I'm talking about records is probably going to go by the wayside. And so I'm trying to think of something that may not necessarily fill that gap, but something that may just may keep you guys entertained and keep you locked in. And so comment down below with what you think about that. I always love hearing from you guys. I try to respond to each and every comment, and like I said, I've got to know quite a few of you through that, and it's really been meaningful. And so I do appreciate that, because I think I've made some lasting friendships here in the VC, and I hope I continue to make some lasting friendships. And me going out on the road, that might mean me meeting some of you guys and actually doing some joint videos, which would be way cool. So different things are afoot. I know what's definitely happening. This is happening. There is a move that's going to come, and for how long, I don't know. It could be a very short time. It could be a very long time. And who knows, when I emerge on the other side of whatever happens between this move and whatever happens, I don't know. I don't know what the future is going to hold. There's a lot of ideas being kicked around, but I don't know what the end of all of it's going to be. Like I said, there's so many ideas. I don't even want to even start to articulate those. because then you guys will be like, well, you didn't do that. But I do know that I want to travel. There's places I want to see, and there's places I'd love to share with you guys. And so, you know, when I go to these places, pull out the old camera and record and show you guys what's going on. Because not all of us can do that. And I enjoy seeing places. I enjoy going places. So if I can share that with you, if I can add that to what we're doing here, please give the old thumbs up. I hope you've subscribed to the channel. If not, please do so. It's not always this blurry. It's just this stupid autofocus on this camera. But you know, what do you think? So tell me. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. There's all kinds of adventures there. Tommy Burton 75. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all again very soon. And good night.